Hi, I'm Niko Ana, and today we're going to talk about why it's non-negotiable if you want to unleash your potential in your life and your business when you're healing from narcissistic trauma, to do inner child work, where you look back at the patterns of your life and you connect with your inner child and you find the places where their needs were not met, places where they need healing. They need what we call reparenting. And so if any of you relate to this, you probably know what I'm talking about. It doesn't matter whether your childhood was maybe ideal, or even, you're thinking, well, I didn't have a bad childhood. We're not talking about, childhood having to be traumatic or some kind of dramatic abuse that can be seen from the outside, physical violence or neglect or anything like that. But it's just the fact that, as children, we don't have the cognitive abilities to process our experiences in life, and we just take it all in. We have no filter. So our experiences come into our being, and if something is traumatic to us, whether it brings up feelings of shame or guilt or not being enough or whatever it is, we as children will develop beliefs. We'll develop, thought patterns. We create a belief system based on our experiences as children, and then they move forward with us into adulthood as patterns. And so whatever needs did not get met when we were children, and this includes not only physical, it really is more mental, emotional needs that didn't get met, then we're kind of hanging out in adulthood, like waiting for someone or something to meet those needs if we're not aware of them. And that's the issue, is that we're not aware that these needs didn't get met when we were children. And then we're looking all around for usually someone else to meet this need in us that really is more our responsibility to meet. So what we have to do is we have to find these places in our childhood where, we had lack. Experiences taught us that, we didn't have resources, or we weren't good enough, or somehow, we weren't going to make it without someone or something in our life. And then what happens is it makes us very vulnerable to the abuse of narcissists, because unfortunately it's a match. If you're walking around with all these unmet needs and you're not conscious of them, narcissists are masters at finding out where you're most weak and vulnerable. And they will find this out masterfully without you even realizing it, by asking you lots of questions, by feigning interest or empathy in what you've gone through. And then magically, they just show up as like the very thing you've been looking for in life, that thing that you think you're missing, or maybe you think that you're lacking in yourself. And whatever that is, they'll show up as that, and you don't even realize it. And that's how they hook you. And that's how they keep you. And that's how they continue to get narcissistic supply from you in the relationship, even far past when you realize it's happening and you're trying to stop it, and you're trying to get out, or you're trying to leave, or you're trying to create new boundaries. But that part of you, that inner child that hasn't been healed, is still holding on to that one strand that thinks, this is my resource. This person is what I need, because I can't get it anywhere else. So I think you understand what I'm saying here, hopefully, if you're still following me, is that the way to heal from narcissistic trauma is to go ahead and reparent yourself and find a way to meet your inner child's needs on your own. And then what happens is you become your own source. You connect with inner source or higher self, or whatever higher power you believe in. And that becomes your direct source. All your needs are met, all your wants are fulfilled, and you don't need anyone or anything to do this for you. Then you're free to enjoy emotionally healthy relationships that are supportive and in which there's cooperation, there's mutual respect and kindness, and there's unconditional love. Yes, it is possible. Yes, it is absolutely possible. Now, something we're going to do now is we're actually going to do a little tapping, because I know what can happen is that when you start imagining the possibilities of like, wow, could I really have that? Like, could I just feel, safe? in relationships? Could I actually be supported and loved? Could I be, respected? Could I just authentically express myself without fear of being criticized or judged or attacked or blamed? You don't know any other way because that's just what you're used to. And this resistance comes up, and that comes from the inner child. The resistance comes up, and it's like, ooh, that's not safe to even think about feeling that way. So what we're going to do today is just do a little quick tapping to kind of start to nudge that resistance a little. It takes a while to really release that kind of resistance. You want to do a lot more work on yourself over time. But let's do a real quick tapping today on this. So let's just start by tapping here on the eyebrow point, and I'm just going to do it on one side with one hand. So just tap here with me gently on the eyebrow point, and we're just going to say, even though I have no idea what it would feel like to be in emotionally safe relationships with people who support me, love me unconditionally, treat me with respect and kindness, where I feel safe to express myself without fear of retribution or punishment, even though I have no idea what that would feel like, I'm starting to realize that my desire to feel those things is stronger than my fear of retribution, of criticism, of punishment. My desire to experience unconditional love in my body and mind is getting stronger than my fear of being around emotionally unsafe people. I love and accept myself right here, right now, on this step in my journey. Take a breath with me. How do you feel now? Good. Thank you so much for joining me today, and we'll see you again in another video where we're going to continue to talk about how to heal and reparent the inner child. Hope you subscribe to my channel. Take care. Thanks. Bye-bye.